All right. Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us here at Anchor Point. My name is Philip Ramos, and again, I'm with the Melinda King. Super excited to be here today with you. We're just going to kind of jump in, and we want to talk a little bit about, first off, what is CliftonStrengths, right? I think that people often, right, make assumptions based on the name. They've heard of it. Maybe someone asked them about it, that sort of thing. So we want to just take a few minutes here and really answer just the basic question of what is it? You know, what is CliftonStrengths? So let's kick it off. What is it?
Number one, I'll tell you what it's not. It is not a personality assessment. Everyone thinks this is going to be some sort of quiz, and then it's going to give you some report and be like, this is who you are, like a horoscope or a palm reading or something, but it's absolutely 100% not that. This is an assessment that is looking for patterns to your thoughts and behaviors, that is going to tell you how you get things done, how you build relationships, how you might manage your time, how you might accomplish things or set goals. It's really an assessment that is going to clarify your natural talents and strengths so you know where to develop. To me, that's the biggest difference between this and any other assessment, is this is a development tool.
Yeah.
It's not a result. It's the launching pad for what happens next.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that one of the things that when we talk about it first, right, it's called CliftonStrengths, but really when you identify each thing there, really, the best word to use is talents, and that's what they call them, is talents. And before they turn into strengths, you have to learn about them. You have to learn about how they've operated, because it isn't just when you see a word on there, right? And thank goodness that they have a word, because it defines something that maybe you've had a difficult time defining. And when you see that word, it can be very validating. But when I saw mine, positivity at number one, I'm not going to lie to you, I broke down. I was like, what? My whole life, people said stop being positive, stop being that way. You do this, do that. And so for me, it was very emotional to think, wow, there's validation in that thing. But once we see that, now we have to learn how to actually utilize it. So kind of like what Melinda was talking about, right? These things are what drive and motivate the way we naturally think, feel, and behave. And that's very much different than us being put in a box of a personality, right? You're this, or you're this, or you're this. When you look at CliftonStrengths, they have 4 different domains, which make up a successful team. And then you have these 8 to 9 different themes inside of these domains, and you're a combination of all of them. So you're not just one box and all the attributes within that box. You're a combination of what drives your success, and you have a combination of all these different things. And so that's one of the things about CliftonStrengths that I've really enjoyed, is that I am unique and I am different. Even though we may share the same theme, I may share the same theme as my wife or someone else, but how I use them is very much unique. Your influence, so if you have a theme at number 5, what influences that theme are the themes in front of it, 1 through 4, and the themes behind it, right, the 6 through 34. So there's a lot there that can really, help you identify. These are just things inside of you that are going to drive and motivate you towards the results you want. It doesn't mean that you can't do a job. It doesn't mean that you're only fitted for this relationship or you should marry these kinds of people. No. What it does is helps you identify that no matter what you choose, no matter what you want to do, no matter where you want to go in life, looking at these motivators, right, are things that can dramatically drive you towards being successful in that specific role.
I love that you bring that up. It's definitely not what can I do? It's now that I've decided what I'm going to do, how do I do it?
Yes.
Right? So why is it called CliftonStrengths? It's called CliftonStrengths because Don Clifton created it. He was one of the first people to ask the question, what if we study what is right with people? Right? If you look at Freud and all of these other people, it was always what's wrong with you, let's blame your mom, right? Let's find the
your
broken
past,
what's broken about you. And so he created a massive study on the success of people, and through that developed the CliftonStrengths assessment. It's 177 questions. You take it online. It is timed. Sometimes that freaks people out, but understand that timing is actually a part of the assessment, because it's looking to see if it was an easy decision for you or if it took you longer to ponder how you wanted to answer it. And if you miss a few questions, It doesn't matter. That's actually part of the assessment too. So it takes everything into consideration. And the results are instant, which is amazing, right? You don't have to wait for it. And what most people don't know is that your results are customized. So tell us a little bit about that.
Oh my gosh. So excited about that part. And then just piggybacking on what Melinda said in terms of taking the test, one suggestion I always make is, because they don't know they're getting into 177 questions, they can easily get overwhelmed. When you get into it, don't have any distractions, right? Don't be playing music. Don't be watching, like some show in the background. Just take time because you're about to explore something incredible. So really take that serious. Now, when it comes down to the customization, this is something that, and Melinda can probably speak to this as well. But over the course of, working with individuals and strengths and also doing corporate training, I've had the opportunity to come across so many people that have taken their strengths assessment for years. And some of them have had them for over a decade. I've had my strengths, I've had this, I've had that. But what most people don't know is that the top 5 themes, your pages 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11, are actually customized. You know how big that is? That is so massive. And so it's easy when people look at the first page, they see the 1 through 34, and they make the assumption, right? When they know someone else. So when me and my wife took it, she had activator number 3, I had activator number 3, okay? And so at that point, I didn't read my assessment, and neither did she. So we assumed, right? We assumed that we were both this way, but that assumption that lasted 10 months actually created more conflict around strengths than anything else. Because the way I read the definition of activator, so I assumed that that's what motivated, or that's the way she should have been. And it wasn't until 10 months later I got this inspiration to read the whole assessment, and then I read my wife's, and I was like, oh, right? They're different. They don't even, they have like maybe 5 of the same words out of the whatever 500 words that are on that page. But that really showed me something, that this is really unique. They are customized, and you got to really lean into that. As we've talked about other themes, we may share some of the same in the top 5 or top 10, but how they operate is influenced by everything that's around them. So that customization is really critical. And again, that's something that you don't find in other personality assessments because you're in a box. And in this box, everyone does the same thing, right? Well, over here, kind of, we've blown up the box. There is no box, right? Because you may have the same theme, but how it works and what it does is completely different.
Yeah, 100% agree. I've been looking at reports since 2017, right? Hundreds of reports, and I will still find a report and see lines I've never seen before, right?
Yeah.
For the first time ever, for something I thought I knew and understood. But it's because we're looking at the theme in relationship to what else is high around it, but also what is low and far away from it, right? That's where that customization comes from. Like we both have relator, but he has high communication. So that's going to show up different, even though we both have relator. I have intellection, so I want to think about things before I say them. He wants to speak them in order to reach the conclusion, right? It's
in order to think it.
It's that process of vocalizing it that helps him reach the conclusion. And so it's the same theme, but because of what's around it and what's not around it, it shows up very different. There was something I was going to say. I totally forgot what it was.
I'll bring up one, because this is something that we always talk about is weaknesses. So let's look at, because if it's called CliftonStrengths, then are there Clifton weaknesses? So talk about that a little bit.
I think that's an interesting one, because we are a society that is weakness focused, right? And so many times someone gets their report, I don't even know if they look 10 seconds at their top 5. Right. They immediately scan down to see what their bottom 5 is.
Yes.
Right? Like, what don't I have? What's wrong with me? What's broken? Well, how can I explain myself?
And how do I work on this?
Right. Is this why I'm not successful? And the one thing I love is that when you look at your strengths DNA, it includes all 34 themes.
Yes.
It doesn't stop at 5. It doesn't stop at 10.
Yes.
I am a complete human being with all 34 talent themes within me. Some of them are more dominant. Some of them are lesser patterned.
Yeah.
The only time it's a weakness is when I am using it unproductively.
Yes.
And when it's hurting my relationships and hurting my success. It could even be my number 1. Because that is very true for me,
yes.
Right? Similar to you, when I got my report and I saw harmony number 1, I was really upset. because I didn't see how harmony was a strength.
Right.
I saw it how it was a sabotage, and how I had been a people pleaser or a peacemaker to the point of silencing my own voice.
Yeah.
Right? So my number one strength was actually my number one weakness.
Right.
But through the awareness and getting coaching on it, I began to see, oh, these are all the times it was effective for me. These are all the times it has helped me survive and helped me thrive. And I've been able to focus on that more and minimize the times that it sabotages me.
Yeah.
So your bottom 5 are not your weaknesses. A weakness is anything that's getting in your way of success.
Yeah, 100%. And this is a big reason why Melinda and I created Anchor Point, is because we've had the privilege and opportunity to meet so many people, probably have had hundreds, if not thousands of people take the test, right? But one of the things that happens is when people take this assessment or learn these things, it's very easy for you to look at it and then just dismiss it without really diving in and understanding. Learning about your strengths, if you're really, it's a journey. Because you've spent, I know for me, right, I took mine when I was 40. That's 4 decades, 40 years of thinking that positivity was supposed to be a certain way, misusing my woo, which is my number 2. So what she saw as harmony, I saw my number 2. I thought that is the worst strength in the world. Winning others over was the single biggest thing of why I self-betrayed my whole life, ever since I was a kid. And so looking at that, if I don't understand, if I'm not careful, I could have easily walked away in that moment, right? But I think that that's one thing that when you take the test, that's just the beginning. That's literally the beginning. If I look at my strengths bucket here of knowledge and learning and growth, it's the very first little penny that I dropped in. And everything else that I've stacked on top of it is the growth and the learning and asking questions and learning how to utilize this and where does it hinder me? Right? How does it keep me from being successful? How has positivity and woo kept me from the success that I wanted in life? And how does it actually create success in my life? And so as you take this, I hope you've decided to kind of go on a little bit of a journey, because it really is. For those that have, I feel privileged to talk about it almost daily, because my wife has taken it, my kids have taken it. And so that's kind of a fun, way in which I've seen it kind of blossom. And so this is more than just, again, my top 5 or my top 10, or this is who I am, or even this is who I'm not. It really is a journey, and hopefully it's something you're really excited, right, and ready to jump in on.
All right, I'm going to end with statistics, and I sure hope I get them right. So, if you take your assessment, there is a 1 in 33 million chance that you will find someone who has the same top 5 in the same order that you do. Which means there actually is a possibility that there is someone alive right now that has your same top 5. If we look at all 34, the chance of you meeting someone who has all 34 in the same order as you is 1 in 1 undecillion. That has 26 zeros after it. It's a real word. And when you add up all the humans that have ever existed on this planet and all the humans that ever will exist on this planet, we will never reach 1 undecillion. So what this statistically means is that you are one of a kind, and science can prove it. Right? You are just as cute and unique, as special as your mother told you you were. Right? Literally one of a kind. When you have that knowledge, when you have the language to describe your talents, you begin to understand, I have a unique contribution to the world that is irreplaceable. There is no one else on this planet who can be me. I have something to bring to this table, right? To myself, to my family, to my community, to the world. And no one else can do that, because there is not another single person who thinks and acts the same way I do. It kind of ruins it when you tell people to have common sense, when you realize not 2 of us can have a common sense.
Right?
Right? You are that unique, you are that special, and this is what unlocks that for you and begins that journey of self-development where you can say, I know who I am, I know my worth, and I know what I'm bringing to the table.
Well, if I hadn't taken my strengths, I would definitely take it right now.
Go do it.
For sure.
All right. Hopefully this enticed you. If you want to take the assessment, reach out to us. We can help you get that code. Or you can go to Gallup Strength Center and unlock your strengths. Talk to you later, guys.
See ya.